Hello friends, welcome to this session. We are going to learn in this session Route 53 how to configure domain, how to configure the domain name server and how to redirect your uh, website to your domain registered domain. So let's start. Okay, so Route 53 is the DNS service of AWS where you can configure your DNS name server and other DNS server related configuration here. So I have one domain by from the Godaddy and its name is z aws.xyz and here in hosted zone I'm creating here a new hosted here. So I have already one created here, just giving the same name is aws dot xyz. Okay, so it is public, so I'm giving here public and creating here record. Okay, so you can see the this is the default configuration comes here. So there is a two configuration is a name server and SOA. So these four name server are the Amazon name server. So you can see the name server configuration here. So this is the TTL for this name server to resolve the IP. Okay, so these four are the name server here. So basically what we need to do, we need to take this name server and edit the same name server in your GoDaddy account. Okay, so here you can see the in the DNS management you can go in a GoDaddy and basically in a name server you have to give the name server here. By default it's giving the default, it taking the GoDaddy's name server, and once you do the custom you have to add here name server. So if you see here, and here you can see you have to copy this name server and add name server in a GoDaddy name server. So you have to replace here. Okay, so basically you need to replace all name server here in a GoDaddy accounts. Okay, so once you have done with this name server, let's go back to our, so this is done. Okay, so this is we have created just now, so one is already I created, no issues. Okay, let's go to the EC2 to have our own web server. Let's install quickly web server. Okay, so here I am giving in advance that advanced scripting being base yum install httpd -5. Then I'm creating one file echo this is my web server to var www html. Okay, then starting service, so service httpd start check config httpd on. So this will install the my server and it will create a file. So we have to give the name here index.html. Okay, so let's launch the instance giving the security key as previous one. So let's launch the instance. In case you need a debug, then you have to give the key protect the SSH access. Okay, so going for load balancer here. Okay, so creating load balancer here, classic load balancer, and giving the name is web server HTTP base, same security group, health check. So I'm giving here the index.html, time interval is 10, healthy threshold for 3. Okay, adding the instance which we have created right now. Okay, so now the load balancer is created here. We have created one instance and we added that instance in the load balancer. Okay, so basically load balancer will give us a domain name, but that domain name is not as user friendly. So this is your domain name, but it's not as user friendly, so you have to use based on your configure domain. Okay, so let's try to see the first instance coming in service. So let's wait for some time. Okay, so one more thing is you have to give your domain name for redirection purpose to Route 53. So basically, if you give the IP, then IP will be changed in every time the system will be reboot. So you have to give the domain name. So here you can see in easy uh, AWS.xyz domain in Route 53, we have to add here create set record. You have to give here in a record. This is your domain name, so you don't have to give the name. In a record, you have to give the alias, and in a alias, you have to give the load balancer. So our load balancer is here. We have to select. So this is your load balancer. So I'm creating here. Okay. So this entry is already created here. You can see. Okay. Let's go back. I'm deleting one host name just for not create any issues. Okay, so let's go for here and check the service for load balance. Okay, is it installed? So our HTTP server is installed and it's able to ping that HTTP index.html. So let's open the web server here. Okay, so here the web server is open based on here our load balancer DNS. So let's try to open with ez.xyz. So it will take some time because it will reflect your old DNS server. You have to wait for some time. Basically, you can also edit your record here. As I have used the previous one, but we have created new load balancer. So load balancer DNS will be reflect and it will take some time to update here. Basically, this will update in all the regions and the global DNS server. So you can see here the A records, name server and SOA records. You can also configure the TTL value here. So for all have different TTL values. So here you can see here is 900, here is name server is 1,70,2,800 second. Let's replace. Okay guys, so you can see here the now your web server is accessible through your uh, public DNS server. So this is the importance use of your Route 53, and hope you got the idea of how to configure Route 53 and how to redirect your web server to the global DNS, and just make